If you think Crimson Desert is just another open world RPG, you're probably underestimating it. This game has been compared to The Witcher 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Dragon's Dogma. And after seeing the gameplay, it might actually combine all three. We're talking about a massive open world, physics-based combat, boss fights with unique abilities, camp building, life skills like hunting and cooking, dragon riding, and a dynamic world that reacts to your action. Today, we're breaking down everything we know so far about Crimson Desert, including gameplay systems most people completely missed. And some of these features are way more ambitious than they first appear. After you've watched this video, drop me a comment. Let me know what you're most excited for. All right, now let's get into it. Crimson Desert takes place on a massive fantasy continent called Pywel. This is a fully seamless open world with no loading screens between regions. Developers claim the world is larger than Skyrim and even Red Dead Redemption 2, but size isn't what makes this world interesting. What matters is how interactive it is. The world isn't just divided into biomes, it's divided into political regions with their own factions, cultures, and conflicts. This means traveling across the map isn't just a visual change, it's a completely different experience. Different enemies, different quests, different technology levels, different alliances. This makes Pywel feel more like a real continent than a game map, and exploration is heavily rewarded. Instead of simply leveling up through menus and experience points like normal RPGs, many abilities and upgrades come from discovering hidden locations and defeating powerful enemies. Some skills even have to be learned by encountering them in the world first. If you played Final Fantasy, think of it as a blue mage. You have to actually learn the ability from the enemy. But what this means is exploration directly impacts how strong your character becomes, and traversal plays a huge role in that exploration. Early in the game, you'll rely on horses and basic movement, but as you progress, traversal becomes more advanced. You can climb cliffs and castles freely, you can glide across terrain, and later in the game, you may even unlock dragon riding. This progression-based traversal encourages revisiting earlier areas with new abilities, which is something rarely seen in open world RPGs. Combat might be the most impressive part of Crimson Desert. This is not a typical RPG combat system. Developers have confirmed the game is not a Souls-like, but it's still designed to be challenging and skill-based. Combat focuses on timing and player skill. You can dodge attacks, parry strikes, counter enemies, chain combos together, but what makes Crimson Desert stand out is the sheer variety of combat options. You can fight with swords and bows, you can use magic, you can perform aerial attacks, you can grab enemies and throw them. You can even use wrestling style moves and physical strikes. I'm talking stone cold stunners and power bombs, people. Very few RPGs allow this level of physical interaction. Combat looks closer to Dragon's Dogma or God of War than a traditional RPG. Enemies react physically to hits, objects can be destroyed, and fights often feel chaotic and cinematic. Boss fights appear to be a major focus, and there are a ton of bosses. Giant monsters, armored warriors, mechanical enemies. Boss fights will reward rare gear and sometimes unique abilities, which means defeating bosses doesn't just give loot, it expands your combat options. This creates a strong reason to hunt down powerful enemies across the world. And stay tuned to the channel because I will be making videos on all of it. The story of Crimson Desert follows a mercenary named Cliff MacDuff. Cliff is the leader of a group called the Greymanes. At the beginning of the game, the Greymanes have been scattered and nearly destroyed. Your goal is rebuilding the group while navigating the political conflict across the continent. Multiple factions are fighting for power, and a mysterious force known as the Abyss appears to be influencing events across Pywel. Fragments of the Abyss are a major part of the story, and they also tie directly into character progression. The story is expected to be very large. Early estimates suggest around 50 to 80 hours for a full playthrough, and unlike many open world games, Crimson Desert is fully single player focused. There are no MMO mechanics, no live service systems, no microtransactions are planned. This is designed to be a complete premium RPG experience, which is becoming increasingly rare these days. So I, for one, am very excited for it. Now, I know we touched on it earlier, but let's talk more about the progression system. Character progression in Crimson Desert is heavily tied to exploration. One of the key progression systems involves collecting Abyss fragments. These fragments can unlock new abilities and improve your character's power. But progression isn't just about collecting items. Some skills must be learned by encountering them in the world. For example, you might unlock a combat ability only after seeing it used by a boss or an enemy. This system encourages the players to explore rather than simply grind experience points. Gear is another major part of progression. Weapons and armor can be crafted, upgraded, or enhanced. Materials come from mining, hunting, boss fights, exploration. This means nearly every activity contributes to your character's growth. One of the most overlooked parts of Crimson Desert is the life skill system. Players can fish, hunt, cook, mine, gather resources, craft items. But these aren't just side activities. Life skills directly support combat and progression. Cooking provides buffs. Hunting provides material. Crafting improves equipment. This creates a gameplay loop where exploration, combat, and crafting all support each other, which makes the game feel more alive and interconnected. One of the most unique systems in Crimson Desert is the Greymane camp. As you progress through the story, you rebuild your mercenary camp. This acts as a central base of operations. You can build facilities like farms, ranches, workshops, vendors. You can also send companions on missions to gather resources. This adds a layer of strategy and management that most RPGs don't have. It's part base building system and part companion management system, and it ties directly into progression. Now let's talk about the technology that actually runs the game. Crimson Desert runs on the Pearl Abyss's custom Black Space engine. This engine allows massive draw distances, detailed environments, destructible objects, and large battles. Weather and environmental effects also appear to influence the game, which add another layer of immersion. In one playthrough, it may be raining when you fight a boss, and that affects it in a certain way. In the next playthrough, it may be snowing, and that affects it in a certain way. So each playthrough and each time you fight a boss or go to a different area, depending on the weather, could change what's going on in the game and what happens. Visually, Crimson Desert is shaping up to be one of the most impressive RPGs of this generation. Let's just hope it don't let us down. Crimson Desert might be one of the most ambitious RPGs in years. It combines a massive open world, deep combat mechanics, exploration-driven progression, base building, life skills, and a fully single-player story. If the developer delivers on even most of these systems, Crimson Desert could become one of the biggest RPG releases of the generation. And with release coming soon, we won't have to wait much longer to find out. Thank you all for watching. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you're most excited for. And look out for future videos on Crimson Desert. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.